My brother discovered my hidden fortune, and now my entire family is treating me like their personal ATM, using a throwaway account because my family has read it. Some details changed for privacy. I'm Marcus, 35 meters, and I need to get this off my chest. The golden child vs. the invisible son. Growing up, I was the smart one. Code for the one we don't need to worry about. My younger brother, Tyler, was the star athlete, the charming son my parents bragged about at dinner parties. I was 10 when I won the regional spelling bee. My parents missed it because Tyler had baseball practice. Not a game, practice. When I brought home the trophy, Dad said, "That's great, champ," without looking up from Tyler's batting stance. Tyler's participation trophies lined the mantle like crown jewels. By high school, I knew academic success was my ticket out. While Tyler got recruited by college scouts, I ground through AP classes and taught myself to code. Tyler's college fund? Fully loaded. Mine? You'll probably get scholarships anyway. I got a full ride to Georgia Tech, not because it fell into my lap, but because I'd spent 4 years building a portfolio that made admissions. Officers take notice. 3 apps, 2 hackathon wins, and a valedictorian GPA. My graduation? Mom and Dad were 2 hours late because Tyler's girlfriend's birthday brunch ran long. The quiet millions. Junior year at Tech, my roommate Dan and I created restaurant management software. Nothing revolutionary, just better inventory, scheduling, and vendor orders in one system. We launched senior year with 50 clients. 2 years later, over 2,000 restaurants. 5 years in, we'd expanded nationally and caught the attention of a major hospitality tech company. They acquired us for $43 million. My cut after taxes and splitting with Dan? Just over $18 million. I was 29 years old, and I didn't tell anyone. The secret life. I kept working as a software consultant. Technically true, part of the acquisition deal. My parents thought I made maybe $80,000 a year. They'd say, "It's so nice you have job security," while asking if I could loan them money for Tyler's ventures. Tyler had become a serial entrepreneur, a nice way of saying he jumped from failed business to failed business, while my parents funded everything. The food truck lost $30,000. The gym franchise lost $50,000. The crypto consulting business, and now a craft brewery hemorrhaging money. I bought a modest condo, drove a 3-year-old Honda Accord, and kept my head down. Every few months when they mentioned struggling, I'd scrape together $1,000 or $2,000. They'd thank me profusely, comment on what a sacrifice it must be, then immediately plan how Tyler could use it. That money? About 0.001% of my net worth. I made more than that in interest during our phone calls. 2 years ago, through a lawyer, I created an LLC that sent my parents $3,000 monthly from a fake rental property collective. They bought the ridiculous story. Tyler convinced himself he'd entered them in some contest. Why keep it secret? I'd watched every resource, every dollar, every ounce of emotional energy go to Tyler. I'd built something entirely on my own, and I wanted to keep it mine. The breaking point. Family dinners became comical. I'd sit there in $300 jeans with the tags removed, listening to Tyler's latest business idea. Marcus is doing well too, right, sweetie? Still at that computer job. Tyler's brewery was failing. Everything was wrong. Location, pricing, marketing. But who was I to say anything? Just the invisible son with the computer job. This past Thanksgiving, everything exploded. Tyler started his usual pitch about needing brewery investors. His new girlfriend Ashley, who worked at a VC firm, started asking smart questions. Tyler was fumbling when she turned to me. "Marcus, you're in tech. Don't you know about business valuations?" Tyler jumped in. "Marcus just codes. He doesn't know anything about real business." Maybe it was the wine. Maybe it was 35 years of being invisible. Maybe I was just tired. Actually, I sold my software company for $43 million 4 years ago. Silence. The grandfather clock ticked in the hallway. Tyler laughed. "Good one, bro. I'm not joking." Dan and I built restaurant management software, sold it to Cisco Hospitality Tech in 2019. My take was $18 million. Current net worth is around $24 million. I pulled out my phone and showed them my investment portfolio. $24,127,493. Nobody laughed now. The aftermath. My dad kept repeating, "I don't understand." My mom started crying. Tyler looked like I'd punched him. Then came the questions. Why didn't you tell us? That last one, from my mom, told me everything I'd been helping all along. The monthly payments, the scraped together cash, all me. Tyler exploded. You've been lying for years, watching us struggle while you're secretly a millionaire. Struggle? I've been sending money constantly. That rental collective? Me. Every time dad needed car repairs or you needed money for failing businesses. Me. You should have been helping me succeed, not watching me fail. My Aunt Linda, Marcus, honey, you could have been more generous. If you'd invested in Tyler's brewery properly, it might have succeeded. I looked around. Not one person said congratulations. They looked at me like I'd stolen from them. My dad, son, we need a family meeting about redistribution. This wealth shouldn't be concentrated in one person. Redistribution. The only meeting we're having is where I tell you my money is mine. I earned it, I built it, and I'm done pretending to be poor to make everyone comfortable. I left. Ashley caught me in the driveway. For what it's worth, what you built is impressive. Tyler's brewery is dead. Your family should be celebrating you. The only kind thing anyone said that night. The harassment campaign. My phone exploded that week. Tyler, I need $500,000 for the brewery. You owe me. Mom, we should have a joint family account. We never taught you to be selfish. Dad, there's a lake house. $800,000. I assume this is nothing to you. You owe me. Mom, we should have a joint family account. We never taught you to be selfish. Dad, there's a lake house. $800,000. I assume this is nothing to you. Cousins I hadn't spoken to in years messaged about opportunities. Tyler showed up at my condo twice, first playing nice, then angry. You're destroying this family. The worst came from my mom. She called crying about foreclosure, needing $200,000. I felt awful and agreed to wire it the next day. That night, Aunt Linda mentioned how excited Mom was about the cruise she'd booked for Tyler's birthday. What cruise? They'd paid it off 3 years ago with an inheritance. The cruise cost $15,000. Tyler's birthday present was a $60,000 truck. My mom had lied to fund Tyler's lifestyle. I canceled the transfer. When she called, I told her I knew. She said, well, we do have expenses. Tyler is going through a hard time. You wouldn't understand. You're successful. The ultimatum last week. They invited me to work things out. I arrived to find Tyler, my parents, and Ashley waiting with a PowerPoint presentation. Title: Fair Family Wealth Distribution Plan. The plan: $750,000 for Tyler's brewery, $500,000 for parents' retirement, $100,000 family emergency fund, $10,000 monthly to family account. This way everyone benefits and we rebuild trust. Where was this philosophy when you paid for Tyler's college, but not mine? When you funded every failed business? When I was teaching myself to code because I couldn't afford courses? That's different, Mom said. Tyler needed more help. You were always independent. Independent? I was neglected. You called it independence to feel better. Now that I've succeeded despite you, you want millions? We're not asking for half. You're asking for millions you didn't earn. For a failed business. To fund a lifestyle you haven't worked for. That's not family. That's theft with emotional manipulation. Tyler yelled after me, "You're dead to me." The irony. I'd been dead to them my whole life. They only noticed when there was money. The final break yesterday, my lawyer sent a cease and desist. The harassment had escalated to contacting my workplace, trying to get my financial information, even claiming they'd invested in my original company. My mom called hysterical. How can you do this to your own mother? I raised you. No, you raised Tyler. I raised myself. I hung up and blocked the number. Where I am now, I've moved to a different city, new condo, new boundaries. I'm in therapy and learning their dysfunction isn't mine to fix. I'm consulting on a new project and thinking about starting something in edtech, something my grandmother would have been proud of. She passed away 5 years ago. I paid for her nursing home care the last 2 years. She made me promise not to tell my parents because she knew they'd borrow it for Tyler. I've started an anonymous Scholarship fund for first generation. That's what I want to do with my wealth. Help people who need it, not fund my brother's midlife crisis at 33. The truth. The hardest part isn't the money or drama. It's realizing I spent 35 years craving their approval. And the moment I didn't need it, they couldn't handle it. They loved me when I was invisible. They can't stand me now that I'm not. For the first time in my life, I'm not invisible. And I'm not going back into the shadows to make them comfortable.